Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Currency Rebel, where we break into high frequency money beliefs one trade at a time. I know the last time I said break away from low frequency, but I decided to change it because I want to focus on high frequency. And in the process of focusing on high frequency beliefs about money, one trade at a time, then the low frequency will kind of go away on its own anyway. So, which reminds me that I also, with high frequency beliefs about money, one of the beliefs that I have been focusing on is that money is attracted to systems. So, when you create a system for money to flow, money will flow. And so I've been trying to make sure I have a system within trading and probably take that system up a notch. My background is in industrial engineering, so I have worked with tons of companies, helping them with process improvement, improving their systems to basically improve their profits. So I love helping make money, but I have been helping companies make money, millions of dollars. And I was like, you know what? I need to be using that towards myself. Like, I have not been using that towards myself the way that I have been using it towards companies for 20 something years in my career as an industrial engineer. So, and I'll go a little bit more into that, but I've been kind of more so documenting my steps and tracking them and building a tracking system, not just the $100 to 100K, but tracking my process and steps and so that it's a repeatable system and that it's a system that reduces the amount of time that I have to put into it and that increases my profitability and that maximizes my opportunities for profits. And then that system will have to be tweaked as you gain up to different levels of income. So it's kind of like different levels of volumes. Like when I was in manufacturing, you had one process for a certain level of volume coming through, or even in distribution. I've been in manufacturing and logistics, and depending on the volume that's coming through that facility, you have to have different systems to handle that volume. So I look at that the same way as with trading. Depending on what type of money is flowing from me through my trading system, I will have to have different systems for create different systems for the different levels of money. So, but I will go over that a little bit later. And once I actually kind of formalize my system, I know like in my head what my system is, but I like to document it and then track, measure, because what you do not measure, you cannot maintain, right? Or you cannot grow. And it's kind of like without a plan, you're planning to fail. So that is the high frequency belief for this episode. And we're going to go into the trades. One of them, actually two of them happened yesterday. And then I'm going to look at Bitcoin. And then I also want to look at the trades that I'm looking at for right now, that I'm like waiting for things to hit, alerts. And I'm showing like the different things that I'm doing a little bit different to help with my alert strategy. That's another part of my system that I'm developing as well, which is a critical part of it, believe it or not. So let's go into this trade. So this one is StockFi. I don't even know, but the ticker is FISUSD. And I do trade on Coinbase. So, and it is crypto. I only trade crypto. I might eventually trade currencies like or like something like gold. I think I might eventually do that, but I want to wait till after this bull run, and then I'm probably going to trading gold. So, but so right now, what got me into this trade was this one had. If we go to the higher time frame first, so let's go to the daily, right? So these are my little notes off the side that I'm developing. So we had a downward trend going, and then we broke out of that downward trend. So this is where we are right now. And from the daily standpoint, it had a major spike, and then you see how much that spike was worth. It was like worth 129%. Jesus. But anyway, so let's go back. And so that was let me know, okay, hey, we got a little good opportunity right here. So like we need to check this joker out. So let's go back to the 15-minute. So I kind of like kept track of different demand points, even from when it was still going down. Like there was support right here. This also became a support and a rejection area. So, which led to this support spike, right? If I were to go down to this one, like if I were to, this is how you find these spikes before they happen. But like if I were to go back, you see this? If I had to put this on here, probably a little bit higher time frame to see it, I would have caught this way sooner. It's caught this that where it spiked to the 139% in a week. I would have caught it sooner. And so that's what I mean by like I'm revamping my alert strategy, a little bit, just tweaking it. I believe in process improvement as an engineer. So I'm always looking to improve or see what changes I need to make to a process or a system. So I'm using all the skills I got from engineering into my trading so that I can hit the targets that I want to hit. I don't want to share those really. I know I have the 100 to 100K, but that's not like my real target. My target is way bigger than that. And it has more to like, outside of that challenge. That challenge was just to help people see that you don't have to do these really high risk trades with margin trading if you don't feel comfortable with it, and still make a very good income just with time, right? It may not happen in a week or two, but if you're available to have time to wait a few months, you can get there in a few months, 3 to 4 months, right? You can be in a place where you took a little bit of money, and now you can take that little bit of money and turn it into bigger money, where that bigger money is actually able to pay you. So you don't even have to take it to 100 figures for you to start paying yourself. You can take it to $5,000 to $10,000, and now you can use that that you start out with $100, take it to $5,000 to $10,000, and use that $5,000 to $10,000 as your base trading account, so that you can actually start paying yourself. Which will lead to a 6-figure plus annual income. All right. So that's what really the challenge is all about. So going back to this trade, so I always try to find where the spikes happen at before, so that I can know where the spikes could potentially happen again. Because usually history tends to repeat itself. So right here is where it had, been a point of rejection and a point of support. So this is a good area. I put an alert on it, and if you go to the 15-minute, I was tracking it going up and down, and then hitting the until it got to here. See, it hit here before, it went up here and came back down, which was ending this downward trend. And so I put like a breaker structure line right here with an alert on it. So I'll know that once it hits there, comes back down, bounce, it made a bounce. When I hear it alert again, because it's on the alert every time it passes that line, then I know, okay, it's probably time to go in. And then it's then made a higher low bounce, right? So it came down, came above that line, came back down, but it didn't go past here, and then went back up. That was my signal. Okay, it's probably time to go in. And my risk would be from where I got in to below this candle right here, right? And basically, as far as how I knew where to come out, I just basically drew a fib, and I saw that, hey, we have this high right here, right? I don't know if it's going to go all the way up to here to the 50%, but there's rejection right here, and there's rejection potentially. Well, I didn't even know this right yet, right? So this wasn't there. Let me take that off. So the only thing I had was this line, this area of support or rejection right here. So, and it was closest to the 61%. So I just went with that, right? And waited to see what it do when it hits this area. And it started kind of like consolidating. So I went ahead and got out. And let it come, which it eventually just came, kind of like did its liquidation right here. It's probably from, yeah, so London liquidated Asia right here. So people already had stops or like buys right here, and they came and got it and then went back down, right? So, and then from there, that's when I added the trend line. So from this peak right here to this peak, right? So this is point A and this point B. I must wait for it to come. Hopefully it can come back down here. What I also could do is look all the way to my left, go maybe up to the 30-minute, and see if it's like, see right here, this is a demand area because it came down here and started going up, right? So I probably will put a zone right there. All right, and I'm gonna go back over and see what it does in this when it hits this area right here, and put an alert. Well, actually, I already have an alert right before that area anyway. And just see what it does when it hits this alert, and then once it hit here, I'll probably start tracking where can I put a breaker structure off of the 15-minute, and just take it, one step at a time from there. All right, and so that was for worth about 34%, I think. About 30%, right? So that was on Sunday. The other thing that I also track, like what's happening, like, because you wouldn't think that a good trade like that would happen on a Sunday, but that goes to show you it doesn't matter what day it is. It just matters when price hit a demand zone. Okay, that's why I like to select, just find demand zones on, and you don't have to do all these charts like I'm doing. You can stick to one or two, three, or like one or two or three charts. Even if you just stuck to Bitcoin or whatever, like you don't have to trade daily, you don't have to trade weekly. Even if you did like monthly, like if you are working a job and trading at the same time, like find those demand zones. If you still don't know how to find demand zones, like just play this video over as to what I said, and then like mark your chart out and make an alert on that demand zone. Okay, so the other coin or crypto coin that I'm looking at is LCX. The reason why is because it is in this support. It has come out of this support demand zone, hit the rejection area, about to hit that area again, which could lead to it coming out of here. So I am definitely keeping an eye on this one, which could lead to a big profit. And the first thing I'm gonna do is draw a fib from this peak up here to this bottom right here. So the 50% is right there. So it probably, I don't know, that concerns me. But if it can go above here and bounce, then it can do that. So it could do this, like this, run like this, and sneak away from you. Like, I've seen that happen. So what I'm gonna do is go down to the lower time frame. Let's go to the 15-minute. Being that I know it has the possibility of doing what I just said, like it came from down here, bounced up, came back down, hit the 50% right here, came back down. I'm just watching for, which I actually already have a breaker structure alert already. I didn't realize I had that there. So I'm gonna see if this thing sounds off, and then actually I'm gonna bring it up a little bit higher over that green candle. Lock. Let it sound off. See, because it already has this going on where it has bounce, came back, but it didn't break it. So I want to see it break it and then make a bounce, and then I will jump in. And then I probably just kind of ride the wave of it. Because let's go back to the 4 hour. Right, so let's say it came in right here, somewhere in this vicinity to the 50%, 30%, but that can happen quick. So it can take its time, but it also can happen quick. So that could be a 30% day, right? But that's how it happens. And I'm also tracking like the time of day that the opportunities are happening. And it's typically in between the London and New York sessions. Asia kind of sets them up for it. Not saying that there aren't times in the Asia sessions or market that it's not happening. There are, but majority of them are between 4 a.m. to the end of New York session, right? So some of them you gotta get up. The early bird gets the worm. So I'm going to keep a check for that. So all thing I have to do is just wait for the alert to go off on that. And then I just go through. I just typically, now this is where it can get a little time consuming, but I typically just go through chart by chart and do that same thing. And look for demand zones, set a break of structure alert. There are some other things I'm doing, and I'm gonna put that all together with my what do you call it? The alert strategy, and along with building a system that is works along with that alert strategy, so that basically, like, I can pump this up a little bit, like elevate this this game a little bit more, so and get more profits on a more frequent basis and maximize my profits. There's another part of this that I don't want to go over right now, but that I know I used to do and I don't do anymore, but I need to go back to that. And I noticed that that would definitely change the game as well. So, oh, one last thing is Bitcoin. So where are we at? So I had this trend line where, to see, it went above it, came back down, which means that it hit the 100, went above the 100%, came back down. Let's just look at where things are. So let's see how it reacts to this 50% level. I probably need to redraw this. Yeah, I do. Need to redraw this fib. I'm gonna go from this bottom to the top. So let's see how it reacts on this support level and this support level, right? Is it trying to make it back to this? And all you have to do is just put alerts. Actually, I'll do one above this candle right here. I'm on the hourly chart for Bitcoin, and put one below this candle right here, because then this will let me know once this go off, it'll show me what happened in here and like how did it react to this. But I'm gonna put one below here just in case if it were to go past that support. And that's pretty much it. It did have a good run last week, right? Like, it definitely came out of that slump, that or retracement that it was in. And I can probably get rid of this, clean this up, right? And see if it's trying to hit this lower support trend line right here. Okay. Well, that will do it for today, and thank you guys. Please let me know if you have any comments or questions about anything I said or something that you need some clarification on. Please let me know in the comments, and or if there's a chart that you want me to go over, please let me know also in the comments. And thank you, and see you later. Bye-bye.